All right, welcome back to the Cybersecurity Unfiltered podcast, where we just talk about random shit and you guys listen to us.
Hey.
So
Chris is running on no sleep and coming.
Oh man, yeah, I got back at 2:00 in the morning. I took a little vacation, which I don't normally do. So I went from a Caribbean island back to Michigan weather, and it rained all day today. So
welcome back to the Northeast.
Yeah, I'm in the Midwest technically, but
well, that's true. I'm actually considered like Northeast Midwest-ish.
Yeah,
I look at the map and I'm like, we're Northeast-ish.
You're Midwest adjacent. Bob is Northeast. Bob is
100% Northeast.
I'm sorry, he's way over there.
Yeah, this dude's one step away from just jumping in the river, jumping in the ocean. So, all right, it's an interesting week. It's Thanksgiving week. Attacks seem to be escalating. I'll give you an example. We had a former customer of ours, who had the phishing attack this morning. They got an account compromised, and so they send the email to part of my team. So my team calls them. Remember, former customer, right? And let me quote what was said. This is a very interesting thing. They said, quote, "We will bring it up with our IT guy." Mind you, they're sending out phishing emails to like their entire mailing list with a document that looks like it's, let's just put it this way, somebody's going to enter their credentials and give up their accounts as well. But they're going to bring it up to their IT guys.
Okay.
Welcome to
pass the buck.
Some companies just don't care. Some people just don't care. It's one of the reasons why they're kind of a former customer. We tried, and they just didn't care. So
they don't care, and they don't understand. They don't care. They don't understand the real impact of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know they do a business with a lot of companies. So if that was being sent out to their entire customer list and all that stuff, that's going to be a little bit egg in the face you got to come back to and explain.
That's a problem. Like, let's
yeah,
it's a problem.
Yeah,
you can't sweep that stuff under the rug after it happens.
No, and now we've seen the increase in litigations. Like we've talked about this 100 times. I don't know, maybe not 100 times, but like we talked about the increase in litigation across that. Like if I'm the reason that your company gets hacked, you're probably going to sue me, right?
Somebody will sue you anyway.
Yeah, yeah, right. And now we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but like the Fourth Circuit Court said that if you have data show up on the dark web and it's a material impact to you as a person, let's say it's your social security number or something like that, that's grounds to be able to enter into a lawsuit because that's considered public. So you've had material harm, so you can sue. Which is a great segue into our next topic, Gemini Group. So
who's Gemini Group?
So let's set the stage for this, right? Bob sends me, and Matt, we use Slack for some communication stuff. He sends us a message, "Hey, this is in your backyard," and it was Gemini Group. I knew Gemini Group had a breach of some sort. I knew it was ransomware before this. They have not publicly acknowledged this yet. Don't ask me how I found that out. And Bob found it because guess what? Class action lawsuit. So what we just talked about, where the Fourth Circuit Court in Virginia said in October that this is grounds for material. If you can show material harm, you can put class action it. Guess what? That's what happened. Gemini Group had ransomware. In the lawsuit, they alleged that 1.9 terabytes were stolen, which is a huge amount of data. This is by the Receipt of Ransomware Group. 1.7 million files were leaked on the internet, on the dark web, including customer lists, multiple invoices, annual purchasing reports, internal document templates, employee payroll and vacation balances, intern and mentor lists, health insurance documents, and personal employee files and pictures. Oops.
Lots of stuff. Lots of good stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff. So suddenly popped up a lawsuit, and we get to talk about what was it? It's Peruski versus Gemini Group, and I probably slaughtered that name, and I don't mean to.
And I know we talked about it last week, but
Yeah.
the material harm is just showing up. You don't have to prove that it actually affected you any more than it being out there, right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
exists.
You just have to prove that it was. You just have to show that it was there, and it looks like so. If you read through the lawsuit, these are some highlights. We read kind of like the highlights. They talk specifically in there that they didn't follow NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0. They talked specifically in there how they didn't follow HIPAA. So that means that his social security number is probably leaked, along with PII. Yep, it says PHI was in there as well. So now, even though they're not a medical company, they had PHI on somebody. They had their social security. They had their health benefits. They must have had some more of that. So now they're getting sued for that. That's all part of this class action lawsuit. So how many more people are going to join this? It sounds like from the lawsuit, this is current and former employees, and the person that filed this is actually a former employee.
Yep.
So how many former employees are in this? And this is from a small community up in rural Michigan. Word kind of travels fast in rural areas. So how many people are going to now jump on this, talk to the lawyer, jump on this class action lawsuit?
Kind of easy to.
Everyone listed will be potentially pulled into this because
Yeah.
the lawyers make money on this.
Yeah, and they haven't publicly disclosed this. And apparently, they waited more than 30 days from the time the ransomware happened to even notify the people.
That's significant.
So they violated breach notification laws. There's potentially, allegedly, violated breach notification.
Allegedly.
I'm saying what's in the lawsuit, right? So,
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, they could be working with law enforcement that squashed the announcement.
they can explain that to the state of Michigan then.
Okay. Yeah, no, I remember I had some piece at one point where that law enforcement could suspend some of the notifications, but
maybe they did, but in the lawsuit it says that they waited more than 30 days.
okay.
So, and that'll go to court. They can argue this out. It probably won't ever go to court. It probably won't actually go to court, right? They'll probably settle. That's usually how these things play out. But let's talk about a little bit about receipt ransomware. I don't want to talk in hypotheticals. I kind of want to talk in hypotheticals. I don't want to talk in like things that I've heard. I've heard things about them that, if this is true, they're not going to win this lawsuit. The reason that this won't go to court is because if it does and all of this stuff gets exposed, that's not good for them. So let's just put it that way. So Reseda ransomware, their ransomware is a service group, right? So it doesn't mean that they got hit by Reseda. Reseda ransomware itself was used, and they love manufacturers. Oh, they love manufacturers because they have VPNs exposed. These guys, they usually do known vulnerabilities. So if there's a vulnerability on a firewall or something like that, they'll hit that, but they love phishing.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how this attack happened specifically. It could be phishing, could be an external VPN that just wasn't secured properly. No MFA, because it sounds like in the lawsuit they talked about no MFA. So I don't know if this person had more information about this attack than what we know. But inside the lawsuit, there's some little snippets there that you kind of get that they didn't have very much security around some things. So, yeah. Again, another example of, it sounds like they didn't have a budget for security. They didn't care about security, allegedly. And they got hit, and now they have to pay the consequences. Now, are those consequences going to be enough to make them change? Maybe. Hopefully, but all these people just got their data dumped on the dark web, so now they have to pay for what a former employer or a current employer did or did not do, which is kind of sad for these people. And this is happening over and over again. Reseda ransomware has hit like 236 companies in the last like 2 years. But to have 1.9 terabytes stolen, that's a ton of data.
That's a lot of download time.
Amount of stuff.
Especially up there, dude. Let me put it this way. Internet isn't that fast up there. Now they do have fiber in certain locations, so maybe they had fiber. maybe they have fast internet, but it takes a minute to get rid of that. I'll put it that way.
Even with gig, that's a pretty big transfer. So
and they didn't
that's
notice
not an
it.
in and out, in an hour or two. That's ran for a while without anyone noticing.
Yep. So what's the fallout going to be? They'll probably settle. Let's be real. That's usually what's going to happen. But it's a stark reminder to manufacturers specifically, because it doesn't matter where you are. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm not a Target. I'm not a Target. Nobody's going to hack me." They're in rural Michigan. I think they have multiple locations around the United States, but like they're not like some massive. This isn't like a multi-billion-dollar company, at least not that I know of. And they got hit, and now they got to pay. Now they got to deal with this. So we'll see how many people join in on the lawsuit.
Well, they really got nothing to lose.
No,
you get the card in the mail with some of these class actions, and it's like it's going to turn into that.
To be fair, they've already lost, right?
Well, yeah, true.
So according to Gemini's website, they have 18 locations in North America. So their headquarters is based up in rural Michigan, but they actually have 17 manufacturing facilities, 18 total locations. So, because they have a regional sales office, that's why. Okay.
So chances are real good this was an initial compromise through a phishing email or something, or a phishing email or a bad link, and
or VPN that they
VPN
protect.
Well, the way I was going with this was Thanksgiving's coming.
Oh yeah.
Black Friday will be here, and all kinds of stuff's going to be floating into email, and then we come off of Black Friday and we go into Cyber Monday.
Well, and just think about this. So, like, beyond that, people are like less engaged this time of year. I don't know, they're worrying about like what's for Thanksgiving, what's for Christmas, stuff like that. So are they more apt to make mistakes?
A little less cautious. Maybe.
Yeah.
But everybody's looking for a deal. They're gonna, 100%. It's gonna be out. It's gonna be out there. Then, I can get this cheap over here. Let me click and go. And
be careful. Don't do it on your work computer. Personal phone, you can shop on your tablet. Lower that risk a little bit. And if it's too good to be true, really look at that.
If it's too good to be true, send it to me first so I can see if I can buy it.
Yes, I will vet that for you 100%.
Yeah. I think the thing that we should talk about too, like if we're going to talk about that, is shipping email notifications that are phishing are really increased around this time. That's probably the biggest ones, right? Like FedEx, UPS, USPS, stuff like that.
We couldn't get your Amazon delivery, or your Amazon delivery didn't make it today. Click here so we can get it.
If you guys want a honeypot for like spam, it's my freaking Outlook account. Dude, the amount of stuff I get in my personal Outlook account, if you're a normal person, if they've seen this much, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody gave up their stuff. Mm-hmm. It's insane. It's truthfully insane.
I don't know. My original Gmail account from when they launched gets a lot of stuff too. So
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's still one of the first preview release ones. And yep.
Here you go. Example. Dear valued USPS customer. That's me. We're excited to present you with an exclusive opportunity to claim a USPS mystery box filled with authentic lost or unclaimed items from real USPS shipments.
Legit!
Yes! This box is packed with surprise items that may include electronics, accessories, home goods, or more. Man, I hope I get a couch in my box.
We only need your credit card number, social security number, and firstborn.
It's fun, an exciting way to explore the mystery of undelivered packages. You have been specially selected to receive this limited time USPS mystery box offer. Discover what treasures awaits you today. Claim your mystery box. And they even have an unsubscribe button. Ooh, I bet you that's a really good thing to click on. So I can click on this claim your mystery box. By the way, it comes from an on Microsoft.com account. Interesting. That doesn't seem like the USPS.
To be clear, that does not make it from Microsoft, too.
No, somebody just went and signed up for Microsoft
Yeah.
365 temporary account.
A lot of folks don't know that, though. Some people see on
Yeah.
Microsoft, like, oh, that's authoritative. That is not authoritative.
Yeah, I think
That's
Microsoft's
their
trying to
email
put
Outlook. Anyone can use it.
But I mean, I can get a mystery box, guys. This is amazing.
I'll send you a mystery box. It's just
Buy two.
Cool.
Yeah. Buy two.
Buy two. You know, you might
No,
be able to flip. You might be able to flip it and sell it.
They're not saying I have to buy it. They're saying I earned it. I get to receive it.
Oh, okay.
But like that's an example. This is literally this is actually I got this today. Like seriously. So this
That's
is
awesome.
pretty funny. But just be careful out there. And we'd be remiss if we didn't give one more update on Jaguar Land Rover because we have not beaten this horse to death yet. I think we're to like Godfather levels of this at this point, but hey, why not? They just booked a direct cost of 196 million pounds just for consultants, IT rebuilding, and overtime.
Holy crap.
Almost 200 million pounds. They had a quarterly loss, a pre-tax loss of $485 million pounds this quarter, where a year before they made 400 million. That's a swing of $885 million pounds. Their revenue collapsed by 24% year on year because they couldn't sell cars.
Those numbers are just
They've
Wow.
slashed their full year profit margin forecast from 5 to 7% down to 0 to 2.
that is a long.
I'm surprised it's even
battle.
positive.
Well, I think they're trying to maintain face. We'll see how that works. They actually extended 1.5 billion pounds of guarantees and early payments to stop the bleeding in their supply chain.
I guess they
Like-
kind of had to because if they didn't, their
Yeah.
supply chain would collapse.
Yeah, they had to fast track a new financing scheme. Yes, it's called scheme to pay critical suppliers up to 120 days early just to repair their damaged cash flows. Again, to save their supply chain. So, if you haven't been listening to us the whole time, Jaguar Land Rover got hacked at the end of August. They didn't make cars for more than a month. They claim that they're back to normal levels. We'll see about that. But it wrecked their supply chain. This has just been a complete headache for the UK. And that was the third major cyber attack to a UK company in this year alone. Marks and Spencer's was another one, a retailer. They got just absolutely dumpstered too as well. This stuff is happening more and more. We talk about this because this is really relative. It's really relevant to like our world because if you're working for a company that has a supply chain, which everybody does, if somebody gets attacked in your supply chain, it might not be your company getting hit with cyber attack. It might be somebody else. It still affects you.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we got to talk about. We have to understand this. Talking about like what they had to do just to help their supply chain out is incredible. Again, it could happen here. Hopefully it doesn't, but it could, and we got to talk about that. So, but on that note, I think right. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Black Friday. Be safe out there. Man, you do anything special?
Gobble gobble. Well,
Gobble, gobble.
I'm gonna grill a turkey. Only I combined like 3 of my favorite recipes for the brine, dumped them in AI, and said what's good together. And I'm gonna experiment with my first AI turkey that literally ends with AI responses may include mistakes. So I'll let you know how it tastes.
So for your blended family that's rather large, you're relying on AI to help you cook Thanksgiving dinner.
It's gonna be
There's
amazing.
always pizza.
Dude,
Well, and there's 2 birds, so like 1 bird's probably enough for. No, that's actually not true. We're gonna make a lot of food. So
I really hope you don't take up sports gambling or prediction markets because, man,
I thought it'd be a nice experiment.
that is some risky. That's some risk taking right there.
I'll document it. We can talk about it next week.
We're not frying it, right?
What's that? No.
Okay.
We're hosting here.
Do you ever watch those videos where the fire departments every single year they just drop a frozen turkey into a fryer and watch it?
Yeah, but look, I'm not saying you should ever drop a frozen turkey in. But you also don't fill the oil up to the top. I have fried a turkey before. There were some years I had to make 4 turkeys.
Yeah, but you didn't fry a frozen one.
No.
Adding ice cubes to
You
hot
don't fry
oil
a
is
frozen
the
turkey.
disaster.
You also don't fill it to the top. You also don't do it in your garage or under your deck. The one time I did it was like way out in the yard.
Yeah.
I saw one on the plane on the way down. The fire department did it, and it was still hooked up to the propane tank. And I'm like, was that propane tank like sort of empty when you decided to do this?
So it is. It's hard to ignite a propane tank. Don't ask me how I know. That's a different discussion, and I don't want to get on a list or something.
Well, I think I'm happy that it's hard to ignite a propane tank because there's like 3 firefighters standing around this thing while this thing went up in flames, dude. So
yeah. Now, if the hose burns past the regulator, you might get like a nice little flamethrower, which looks cool.
this looked like it had like a 3 or 4 foot hose, so they had a little bit of room. But
yeah.
All right, we are not endorsing any.
No. No.
Don't light stuff on fire.
We are not chefs. We are not lawyers. We are not insurance brokers. We are just 3 guys on the internet for talking about educational purposes only.
And taking my advice in general leads to questionable, entertaining life decisions. So that's fair.
All right. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays.
Bye, guys.